Of all these states in the last several days, when they've gone through things that most of the rest of us can't imagine. We could never imagine facing a flood and a fire and a blizzard all at the same time. And we admire you greatly, and we're going to do what we can to be there with you over the long haul.
Clearly, today's visit by the President, along with national and international media attention, will spotlight the tragedy in the Valley. But when the banner headlines and lead stories stop, the Valley hopes the compassion and the help do not.
Mayor Owens elected by...
Oh.
He's not in. He tried to still move him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. It's amazing what animals can do to survive these conditions.
What's been happening is people have been calling the Humane Society and saying, I left my 2 cats at an apartment at such and such, and if possible, then the rescue crews spend. A lot of people, pet owners, are very happy to have those people out there.
Again, all of this is done on the... Not too happy about it right at the beginning.
Definitely beginning to understand the reason for those.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, a happy ending for some pet owners.
And ocean that now engulfs Grand Forks, North Dakota, and a lot of places which are smaller. The President said the people there are quite literally
in the fight for their lives, and he promised hundreds of millions of dollars in federal aid to help them recover. In Grand Forks today as well, our White House correspondent John Donovan.
There was a need in Grand Forks today that this president knows better than most how to satisfy. It was the need for sympathy.
I don't recall ever in my life seeing anything like this, and I have been very impressed by the courage and the faith you have shown in the face of what has been a terrible, terrible dilemma.
Not only did Mr. Clinton come to see for himself from the air how a river turned into a sea that has swallowed up whole towns, he also sat down and listened.
The citizens here have no basic services in sewer and water.
This was a meeting with local officials, mayors and health inspectors and fire wardens. None has slept much this week. Many were near tears talking to the president.
Hold them in your arms and you tell them it'll be all right, which you probably know it won't be. But you keep fighting.
But there was also humor. Pat Owens, who lost her home, is the mayor of Grand Forks.
This morning when I got ready, I was getting ready to come here to meet the president. Mayor Stouse and I were talking. We didn't have water and he still doesn't have water at this point. I thought, what do I wear? What you...
Looks good.
The president saw for himself today why it will be weeks before people can return and months before many will have homes they can live in.
This has been an expensive season for disasters. When the president flew over Grand Forks today, it was the second time this year he has visited a flood scene. The vice president has been to others, and all of them take money to clean up.
The thing I did was to ask Congress to approve another $200 million in emergency funds for North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota. Funds.
That $200 million would pay for emergency needs like food and blankets and fresh water. It will not give people their old lives back. That will take literally billions of dollars, much harder to come by than the best-intentioned words of consolation. John Donovan, ABC News, with the president in Grand Forks, North Dakota.
The Red River, which, as we told you yesterday, flows north, is now threatening communities downstream from Grand Forks. As we said, north, evacuations have been ordered. Grand Forks to the Canadian province of Manitoba, towns in all places. In Grand Forks itself, the red is not expected to go down for days. As you look down from the helicopter, President Clinton said today, in every one of those houses there is another life story. He was right. ABC's Aaron Hayes on some of them.
There are 2 here.
At the telephone company, where floodwaters are still rushing in.
It's bubbling up through the floor. It's starting to seep through the walls.
They are fighting to keep the water from sinking the city's telephone system. For 3 days, the river has been trying hard to take it.
Well, like Bob put it one day, we were in the emergency room on Saturday and Sunday. Now we're probably up in the intensive care.
Water has been pressing in from everywhere.
We finally had to bring sand.
Hold back the water here to save their hospital. A mile-long dike they hope will divert the river away from here. At Ely Hospital, evacuated days ago, but that, they say, was not a final surrender. At the Sheriff's Department, they pushed in to rescue their equipment from the river so they can keep going.
That's okay.
You sure?
Yeah. They will hold on as long as they can.
Yeah, we're open. We're here. All right. See you. Bye.
Erin Hayes, ABC News, Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Towns north of Grand Forks are now evacuating as the river gets ready to crest in their area. They have seen the enormous damage to their neighbors. President Clinton will meet with some of those evacuees when he visits Grand Forks today. Here's ABC's Ron Claiborne on the search for shelter.
Where did they go? Where do 40,000 people who have abandoned their homes find shelter all at once?
One of the most difficult things I think we're going to be facing in this disaster is finding temporary housing.
One answer, callers who've besieged the local television station with offers of spare beds, garages, even barns.
Lawrence Sanlo from Winnipeg has some rooms for a family. He says pets are okay.
Oh, they've been calling from everywhere from Winnipeg to Wisconsin to Duluth to Montana, you name it.
Whole communities have literally opened their doors to the victims of the flood. The town of Thompson, North Dakota, about 11 miles south of Grand Forks, has taken in about 1,000 evacuees, as many people as live here.
Lillian Sarazin and 10 other refugees found shelter in the home of James and Helen Robinson. Shelters, 3,000 are being housed at an Air Force base west of town, or in motels, or else with relatives. They may be able to return home in a few weeks, but for now, these people, the city of Grand Forks itself, have been scattered by the flood. Ron Claiborne, ABC News, Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Among the evacuees at the Grand Forks Air Force Base are Marlo Cochran and her 4-year-old son Trey. They join us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How long have you been forced to make this Air Force Base your home now?
Since Saturday afternoon.
Tell me what conditions are like there. How are you and Trey getting by?
Oh, we're doing good. They have hot meals. They provide us with, you know, your necessities like your toothpaste and stuff. And we've gotten a change of clothes and some toys to keep him entertained.
And how do you, I mean, we all, when we see those pictures, they are incredible, the devastation, and incredibly disturbing to us, and we're many miles away. What is that like when you see these pictures and know that that's your home?
Well, it's kind of depressing, but, you know, like everybody's been saying, I'm just glad we haven't had any deaths yet, and that we really did work together as a community to try to save our town.
You've got about 3,000 folks up there at the Air Force Base with you. How are you guys keeping each other's spirits up?
Oh, we talk about different things. Some of, like with the older people, we talk about memories they had and stuff, and just try to keep them pretty. We're trying to keep everything upbeat.
What are people
so we don't get depressed?
What are people telling you about when you might be able to go home?
They said about 3 weeks before, you know, we could maybe get the water down and get our water system back up. So we're hoping for that.
Just out of curiosity, Marlo, do you plan to keep on making your home in Grand Forks?
Oh, yes. I've been through a lot here. I'm going to hang in here.
All right. Marlo Cochran, your son Trey, best of luck to you both. Hope everything turns out really well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that Mike Jacobs. Mike, this has been quite a week for you.
Yes, it has been quite a week.
I would understand if you couldn't publish, given the devastation in that city, but you have gone to such great lengths to keep printing. Why is it so important?
Well, it's about what's left of the community. In a weird way, we've all been spread to the four winds, and the Herald is a tangible thing. People, they can hold it, they can look at it and reflect on what's happened in their lives. So I think we're a touchstone for Grand Forks, and I think an important one. And besides that, this is a hell of a story, and we're journalists.
Where's to distribute? I mean, how do you, since people aren't in their homes, what are you doing? Getting it out to shelters and to...
We're taking tens of thousands of newspapers to shelters all over North Dakota and northern Minnesota. We're distributing in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and we're trying to get the paper to our regular readers, regular subscribers, people who've depended on us for a century, up and down the Red River Valley, and you know, we're trying to get it to people who are regular readers,
Mike,
who are not being flooded.
We saw just a moment ago the picture of your building, which was gutted in the weekend fire. What have you lost?
I haven't been down there, but you know, the whole, all of the newsroom operation,